PFF is running one of their biggest sales ever. 40% off a PFF Plus subscription right now using the promo code BLACKFRIDAY. That means that you get everything fully unlocked. You get the grades, you get the stats, you get all the fantasy advice, the betting advice, which our new player prop tool is available on web as well to make you a smarter, better. You've got all of the draft analysis, the free agency analysis, all of that great stuff. Subscribe.pff.com to get 40% off a year-long PFF Plus subscription. Get it now. The Falcons are traveling to your New York Jets, take on the Jets here in New York. You want to talk about the Falcons? Or you want to talk about the Jets here?
Let's talk about the Falcons offense real quick. And obviously the engine of this offense, if they can stick with the run game for the most part with Kirk Cousins at quarterback, with Bijan Robinson, with Tyler Algier, if they can, get their 150, 200 yards rushing they need in this game, they will probably win it. But if they get into obvious passing situations, they might have a problem in this game with Drake London doubtful to play. It doesn't look like he's going to play for the second consecutive week. And the Jets, they run the ninth highest rate of man coverage in the NFL. Aaron Glenn, Steve Wilkes, they like to get aggressive with this defense. They traded away Sauce Gardner, but they're staying aggressive with Brandon Stevens, Azareye'h Thomas on the outside, and Jarvis Brownlee in the slot. And when you look at the Falcons against man coverage, this has been a real problem for them this year as a team. This includes any production that Drake London had. 25th in receiving grade, 32nd, dead last in EPA per pass and completion percentage, and 31st in yards per route run against man-to-man coverage. And Kirk Cousins, look, he had a good game last week. He threw well. They got the play-action concepts going, but the Saints run one of the lowest man coverage rates in the league on their defense. Brandon Staley, a zone-heavy coach, going to be a more aggressive approach from the Jets in this game, and I think it could cause this Falcons receiving core some issues. Somebody's got to be able to separate one-on-one from press man coverage. If they don't, this game could be tighter than you think and really an ugly defensive game.
The Jets kind of are what they are, right? We've talked about the Jets for the last 12 weeks, and even with Tyrod Taylor in there now, they're going to pass the football more, so I think that gives them a better chance to win football games and look a little bit more competitive. But the story is the same with the New York Jets. They run the ball well. They have a chance to keep it close. They don't. That's about it. I mean, Tyrod Taylor, around a 46 passing grade that he had last week. As I was kind of looking at the Jets offense, obviously, like Garrett Wilson's been banged up, and you look at who's out there. It's A.D. Mitchell, it's John Mechie. I mean, these are guys who weren't even on the team a couple of weeks ago. I mean, he's throwing to new guys there. The constant that I think they have is they've got three offensive linemen that you really believe in. And I just kind of wanted to take the time to shout them out with Armand Membou, Olu Fashanu, and Joe Tippmann. I think those guys have been really good this season, and just specifically over the last month. All of them have pass blocking grades above 77 over the last 3 games. And so these guys, to me, are cornerstone type of a players. John Simpson's a free agent for them. They could be bringing him back. Obviously, Elijah Vera Tucker is as well. He hasn't played for them all year. But the Jets have a really solid O-line foundation for whatever their game plan is going into next year and the year after, with all of those first-round picks to hopefully get the quarterback of the future there for them. So honestly, like on a week-to-week basis, I wanted to highlight the O-line just as a long-term sort of a shout-out to them, but also the Falcons, it's a young group of defensive linemen who, when they seem to play well, this Falcons team wins. When they don't, I think that's when you start to really get in trouble. And I think that the Jets actually have the group to neutralize guys like Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. and Brandon Dorlus and those guys who have been playing well for them as of late and were a big reason why they were able to go into New Orleans and get a win last week. I do ultimately still think the Falcons win just because I don't have a lot of faith in this Jets team and this Jets offense to be able to get it done. But I think it's decently close. I'm going to go with the Falcons 20 and the Jets 16 here.
I think you do get a defensive game here. Curious to see. I think it's a great call in that matchup, especially off the edge with Membou and Fashanu going against Pierce and Walker. Arnold Ebikete's been in that mix. The veteran Leonard Floyd has been in that mix. I think you're going to have a really fascinating pass rush matchup, not only on the field, but schematically too. Jeff Ulbrich going into last week had the second highest pass blitz rate in the league, and he kind of laid off the gas against the Saints and just kept sending 4, and they were getting pressure anyway, especially with those defensive ends. So I'm curious to see which way he goes on that Jeff Ulbrich revenge game, of course. But, are they going to blitz Tyrod Taylor? Is he going to sit back in coverage and just kind of not allow these receivers any separation? Because we know the Jets' receiving core has struggled. I do think you get a defensive game, a low-scoring game, but the Falcons in their run game and their defense get enough done to win it 17-10 Atlanta.